Hello and welcome to my home. My name is Kirsten Steno. I'm a Danish house coach, interior designer, adding empathy and life coaching. I had the privilege of speaking at Bow Concept a couple of weeks ago, and it was such a brilliant night, well organized, and I had the privilege of meeting 60 of their clients, some interior designers who wanted to become a house coach, which was so moving, and a lot of customers asking me, how can I get house coaching? I'll get to that to the end, but for now, we have half an hour together with some tips and inspiration from my home as I'm confined with carpenters. So if you can hear some drilling, it's because things are going on. Denmark is not completely closed down. This is my kitchen. We have bought this house a year ago and decorated it with a heart, with house coaching, my husband and I, because we are young at heart. That means our kids are no longer with us, but we don't feel old, and we don't like the term of being empty nesters. I think I'm more than an empty nest right now. So what we did as senior lovers, couples, friends, we figured out how to come up with compromises that would make both of us happy. 40% is what I like, 40% is what my husband likes, and 20% is the compromise that we found, inspired by Steve Covey's The Third Alternative, which is one of the tools in my house coaching training and what we offer online in house coaching. So I'm going to take you on a little tour of my home and give you some tips today, what you can do yourself. Welcome and enjoy. Hi everybody, and welcome to the session about colors, and welcome to my living room. One of the tools that works very well for me and for my clients is the tool 70-30 when it comes to colors. Many people, and especially Scandinavians, are very afraid of colors, like if it's too much or too red or too blue or too green. The hotter the climate, the more the colors. But right now we're talking about Scandinavian interior design, and the rule is neutral is wood, black, white, gray, sand, beige, black, no outstanding color. And then we add 30% color. In my country, it could be with the seasons. So if it's spring, you add the colors of spring, pale pastel colors. If it's summer, you add more vivid colors. In the fall, you take the leaf color, and in the winter, of course, we go full in on Christmas. But I'm going to show you the difference in my living room when I add 30% color. That means 3 out of 10 items has a color. When you look carefully at my bookshelf, it's also 70-30, like mostly neutrals, and then I add a little bit of color so that nobody gets stressed or scared by looking at my home, and we can all be here. I added a mirror where there should have been a window. These are branches from my garden. And here are the posters. This poster is brilliant because I can choose blue colors, red colors, yellow, green, whenever I feel like it. And right now, the season here is spring, so I added some of the pastel colors. that worked with my 20-year-old sofa. Flowers, the easiest way to add colors. And if you are in doubt how to add color, sometimes it's a good idea to make reversible cushions. Now the other way around my kitchen with my self-made selfie stick as the one is in the office. This is a spoon and tape and my cell phone, but it works brilliantly. I had an artist paint this wall because when the doors are open, I get the feeling of being in the fields and eating, and as you can see, here is the compromise. This is a very old dining table that I have had for 25, maybe more years. We sanded it down because we wanted to paint it, but we couldn't agree on a color, and suddenly the third alternative became, we like it like this. We had new chairs, which are chairs, the 20% compromise. It's very comfortable to be seated in, it's not too expensive, easy to maintain, and fun because of the brass. We have old rosewood cabinets from my parents-in-law who are long gone, and from my husband's grandparents, the green china with the fish. We bought things together as we are a blended family. Here we have a poster from Copenhagen because our children live in Copenhagen, and so we say hi to them every morning and every night, and when we dine, they're kind of with us. Danish hygge is always about candles and flowers, about texture, warmth. I still keep the Christmas lights because it's so cozy at night. No Christmas decoration, but the lights I can keep as long as I want. And I just glued some mirrors into the cabinet, so the people who are sitting with the back to the view, they also have something nice to look at. And here you can see the whole wall. Just one big painting of nature, and I use mirrors a lot to give the feeling of depth. And here you can see the stunning view of my city and the terrace that we're going to do next year maybe. We don't know yet. I dislike these two chairs. They have been in exile for many years, but when we bought this house, my husband said, can we get them back? Because they're from the time when we met 21 years ago. And for me, it's home. And for his children, it's home. So when they come here, and they're very masculine chairs, men always go and sit there, turn around, and enjoy the view. My bonus daughter sits in that chair, and she sleeps, and that's my why. The love is my why. It's not only the design. So he gets to decide this corner because he loves to sit here in the morning very early with a cup of coffee. And just we sit here and have a glass of wine sometimes in the evening and talk. So I would love Eames chairs or Imola chairs from Bow Concept or the Hamilton that I had that I loved so much, but this is a compromise. So he had to compromise. These are my old sofas. We're looking for new, actually at Bow Concept right now, to find we have more seats because the children are getting hooked up with girlfriends and boyfriends, and so we need to be at least 5, 6, or 7 soon. This bookshelf was here. It was dark blue. I painted it white personally because if you don't paint anything in your home and you only have people coming in to do it, it will never be your home. So I'm going to explain to you the 70, 30 it white personally because if you don't paint anything in your home and you only have people coming in to do it, it will never be your home. So I'm going to explain to you the 70-30 color tool in a minute so you can see how did I come up with this balance. Why doesn't it feel too colored or without color? Because please remind yourself, Scandinavian design is not only gray and beige and black and white. We love colors, the colors from the beach. We're surrounded by beaches. I have a porch. The odds are 1 to 1,000,000 because I really dreamt of having an American porch. So we took an old bench and turned it into a swing bench. Here is a forest with a little lake. And today is not so nice weather, typically Danish. And that's why we invented hygge, actually. Because this is mostly the weather that we get. But to be fair, we had a whole week of sunshine. The walls are not white, because if the walls were white, I wouldn't be able to see the ceiling. So again, 70-30 is the color tool here. The sun is shining. It's really feels like spring in Denmark. I got back from Colombia, and this bedroom was what I met. Frank's been sleeping here by himself in a blanket, missing me. How cute. And he turned the bed to look out the window in a different way. I just feel completely estranged. It's not our bedroom anymore. We need to take it back. That's my tip for Corona. Start with your bedroom, take it back, and make it beautiful and cozy and romantic. This is the before. This is the Corona tip to take back your bedroom. I had many plants in my living room, so we could actually spare one, just to have the feeling of growth and potential. And then we put up the sign that I bought in the United States, grow all with me, the best is yet to be. And now when you look at the bedroom, it looks completely different to us, and it feels different because we made an effort to iron the bed linen, and I found some cushions in the basement that I haven't used for a couple of years. I have this wonderful quote, also carried my personal Bible verse, for I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope and a future, not to harm you. We stick to that. Here's the love wall, which is the basic of house coaching, to tell stories that will remind you of happiness. So here is the card that my husband gave me after our wedding, beautiful photo from our wedding when he proposed, flowers from a wonderful friend, travel memories, blessings from Israel. So this makes us happy just looking at it. And I didn't really make a love story on that wall, but now I made it. Picking flowers from around the house and items that I didn't use, like this poster from Tel Aviv that I loved. I just found it when I was detoxing my bedroom. It was in the cabinet. Now it's framed. And we hope that we will get to do Caminos in Europe later this year. And the view is still amazing over my city of Kolding. Here is another cabinet filled with happy memories. And Frank is happy with it. And if he's happy, I'm happy. So take your bedroom back, every corner, every wall, one room at a time. Take back your home. These days I work from my dining table because I need more room and all my stuff is in my office. So it's a little bit primitive, but bear with me. The Steno pyramid explains more about house coaching, so you may better understand what I'm doing and what I'm offering. And my house coaches online, of course. We need a place to stay. A physiological place to stay, like what the homeless people don't have. Then we need it to be secure and to protect us. And that means if it's a dangerous neighborhood, you don't want to live there. If it's too far away from the children's school, you don't want to live there. Then it becomes impractical. It has to be practical as well. Once it's practical, you love where you live, it has everything you need, hot and cold water is running out of your tub, the fridge is not making noises, the neighbors are not making noises, there are no cats, no dogs barking all the night. You really enjoy, then you think, okay, I can settle here. This is when you start loving it. This is when you take back a place and call it home. And you know right now, millions of people around the world are not able to say that sentence, I'm going home. So every time I hear myself saying I'm going home, I fill myself with gratitude because this is not something to take for granted. When you decide to love that home, put your name on the mailbox. This is when you start doing the interior design part. This is when you start buying flowers, curtains, cushions, everything you need to feel the ambiente in a home. That's the love part. But the walls are more than that. Because that's why it's so hard to put things on the wall. Because what are my values? What are my values? Who are we as a couple? What makes us happy? Well, I can show you what makes us happy, and that's living in nature. Living in nature is the main theme of our interior design, and it's because former owners gave us this book in German, Happiness to Live in Nature. So I just gave this book to my husband and said, so could this be the theme? And because he loves birds, he said, yes, of course. And that means the storytelling part are birds, nature. This is wallpaper from Designer's Guild in white and golden. And here are the birds, for real. This is the beautiful garden. It's a theme that goes along with everything that we do. Flowers, birds, and roses. Storytelling. Right now we're refining our bathroom, but I can show you what we call a happy wall. This is a happy wall, and this is becoming a very happy bathroom. This is a storytelling about traveling. Wherever you have dreamt of going, I have camped there and left firewood for when you arrive. Life is short, live your dream, and this is how Frank and I are playful when we travel. These are posters from south of France, from Vietnam, and we created that travel wall of happiness because it means a lot to us. Not just any poster that has a color, but a poster that has a story, a love story. That's why we call it love walls. So let's get back to the pyramid. Because once you have all the stories and you feel happy, something magical happens. Because the caterpillar becomes a butterfly in the top. This is like the Wi-Fi. So just like we come home and the Wi-Fi connects to our phone, the minute I'm seated in the sofa, my husband comes home, my son's lying in it to watch Netflix, the minute we do that, we get energized. We get completely energized by being in this house, and that is the whole point of a home. What use is your cell phone if you have no battery? So you always know where your charger is, because if you don't know it, you can't get in touch with the people that you love, and they can't get in touch with you. So the home should be the place where you recharge your batteries. So look inside your own home. Okay, so are you living in the country and in the city where you want to live? If not, consider where you want to go. Do you feel safe? And is the home practical? Or make a list of what it takes for you to feel safe and practical in the house and do something about it. What would love mean to you? That's when you go into Pinterest and you start creating boards. And we're going to talk about that in a minute. Does your wall reflect your values? Look at what's hanging on your walls. What stories are you telling yourself? Do they reflect your values, or at least happy memories in your life, which we'll always also dive into? And at the end, do I feel energized in my home? Do I leave my home energized? Yes or no? Ask yourself these questions as individuals and as couples. So how does it work with a house coaching session? First of all, you do your homework. You send us 6 images of what you would never like to live, like never like to do in your life, never want to live. You look for living room, bedrooms, bathrooms, whatever room you have picked that you want to have house coaching in. Then you send 6 images of what you would love to have, if anything was possible. And then 6 happy memories from your life. And if you are with a partner, you send the same for him or her. Because when we have that 360-degree feeling of who you are, what you dislike, your limiting thoughts, like what are you afraid could go wrong? And then we have what your heart wants, if anything was possible, and happy memories open up the heart to love. Then we know the colors you like, everything that is visual, because sometimes it's so hard to explain to an interior designer what you really like. And that's what I used to ask my clients. What do you like? And how can I help you? But if you don't know what you like, who you are, what your values are, we can't help you. So online, you send that to us, to one of the house coaches that you choose. And in these Corona times, we're offering at a special price of $400. It's a 5-hour session for a house coach to work with you. 1 hour on Skype, where we look first at the homework, of course, half an hour to be prepared for a meeting. We look for your limiting thoughts. I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I'm not that creative, and then we turn it around. Because who would you be without the thought? What if you couldn't think, I don't have money, I don't have time, and in these Corona days, I can't buy anything or I can't do anything? Because of course you can. Once you choose something with your heart and do the exercise at home, what do I dislike, what do I like? You can order accessories online. Cushions, vases, anything in the colors and the textures that make you happy. Only a little can do the trick, like you saw in 70-30. In the session, we listen to the limiting thoughts, we coach you out of the limiting thoughts, even as a couple. And then we come up with a suggestion. And these are usually drawings, images, like you would have any presentation. Then you go through it in your home, and then we meet again and we take you through the presentation. And if you have any questions, but honestly, we help you how to decorate and let you fly. Because once you know how you work house coaching in one room, you can do it by yourself in the rest of your house. You don't need us for that. So I hope you will take advantage of this opportunity to take back your home and create a life for yourself that is filled with joy and hope and laughter and love, even in Corona times. And after Corona especially. So thank you to Bow Concept for giving me this opportunity to share some of my tips, to invite you into my home. And if you have any questions, feel free to write us via the webpage www.housecoachinginstitute.com, and you can write in Spanish. We will answer you in Spanish. We teach interior designer classes in Spanish and in English. Have a wonderful time and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.